We are live. Yep, she needs scissors. You can grab her some. Yeah, everybody needs scissors. I've got mine all set to go. All right, it is Monday. It's the day of the eclipse.
Do not look at it.
No, I've got some welding lenses in my car. Should I be, if it's sunny? Well, it's sunny right now.
But I heard Minnesota's sending us the clouds.
I know.
Darn Minnesota.
Yeah. So can you see me?
Nope.
Probably not. You can adjust so you can see me. So you might have to move your table because you're going to come off of that. Okay. So today is April 8th, and it is 9:30.
Right on the button.
And I'm Pam at Time Flies Quilt and Sew in Negaunee, Michigan. And we are in the midst of Serger Month, and we are blooming and growing, which means we're learning a lot of new techniques. So I love our sergers. Anybody who has bought an L890 absolutely loves it. It is nice and quiet. It is a overlocker. Overlocker means serging. Overlocker is the terminology that they use in Europe. In my newsletter that I sent out last night, I had a picture of a typical cover stitch that you would find on the bottom of a t-shirt, like this. Can you see that?
The thread matches so much.
Yeah.
Oh, there. Okay.
So
Much
that is
better.
a cover
And
stitch.
2 lines on the front.
Two needles on top and then the looper on the bottom. And there's so much fun that you can have with using that stitch because you can put fancy threads in the loopers and it'll be really fun. And we're going to show you that in a minute. But my first introduction to all of this is we have a phenomenal sale going on for the month of April with Bernina. We are featuring the Quilter's Edition. I have more coming. This is a fantastic machine. It's no different really than the first L890 that we had. They just changed up the color, made it lighter and brighter, and put the quilting motif on the front. So if you have an L890 already, don't feel like you're missing out on anything, because you really aren't. What comes with this machine is some free gifts. There's over $1,600 worth of free gifts, of which is the quilt kit for Bloom and Grow. The Bloom and Grow quilt kit has this pattern. The entire book is going to teach you how to make this Bloom and Grow quilt. And I'll show you that in a moment because I did make this quilt last month. That was my goal, to get it done before April. And thanks to the snowstorm that we had.
That's right.
That was the
See,
last day.
there's something good for the snowstorm.
Yeah. But this is really a well-written book. You can see that. It tells you what foot to use. It has a demonstration of all of the settings for your L890 as you go through it. So if you follow the book, you can get this done. But we have more. We have the Bernina Skill Hub card that has a video of Mary Beck, a Bernina educator, making this quilt. So it's broken down into lessons. So here we have here this page says lesson 2, and
Nice.
It's outlined in red what we're going to make during lesson 2. So in total there are
8 lessons.
Yeah, 8 lessons, but the 9th lesson is how to quilt it.
Oh, nice.
So that's when Amanda Murphy and Pam Moshi. Amanda Murphy is our long arm Bernina expert, and Pam Moshi is the head of the overlocker division for Bernina. the two of them got together to make this quilt. And I can just imagine the fun that they had.
Yes.
So the Skill Hub is a virtual class where she is actually sewing and giving tips along the way. And there were times that I did take a peek of this. There was a time that I did take a peek at this while I was sewing. If I had any questions, I'm the dealer. Hey, I still have questions. I don't know everything, but we've got great resources with Bernina. We have an education department, and they can make things like this. So the value of the Skill Hub card is $300. It does not come with this free gift. That's in addition. But what you get is the big book of serger quilting right here. And so this is going to also be another resource on how to make quilts with your serger. You also get the fabric kit, the pattern, the serger foot and accessory set. So there is the compensating foot. There's also I think the curved foot. So you get a few different serger feet and you get all the thread. So there's Wonderfill thread, 3 different spools to add the special pizzazz to this quilt. And then there is Mettler 60 weight thread for when you're doing overlocking. And you get the serger suitcase. So if you can see here, this is the serger suitcase by Bernina. It's nice and big. It's lots of pockets, just like all of our other machine bags. And it will protect your
Investment.
And here is the Bloom and Grow quilt that I made last month. So it's all put together. And if you notice, the applique is circular. It's typically, you wouldn't think that you would do a applique with a serger. And I couldn't really fathom myself how that was going to go until I did it. But basically, I finished the edges of the circle, first of all, with the curved foot, and started with the black layer, the background. And then what they have you do is trim away your fabric so it doesn't have such thickness.
Bulk.
Because there's 4 layers on top of the base. So that way it's not super heavy.
Cool.
I did pull out of my beading drawer
Oh,
a special pin that went with it. Of course, I would take that off when I quilt it. But when you look at the back, some of the seams are overlocked, and that is serged, like right here. This is serging.
yeah.
But this looks like my normal quilt piecing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that is actually done with a cover stitch chain stitch. So there's thicker thread on the other side.
Show it again.
If you can see that.
Yep.
So, you know, this, you can do a straight stitch with this machine through the cover stitch function. So that really is fun. And this part in here.
All
this,
on top.
Yep, this is flat lock. This is cover stitch. This is a chain stitch. And I added some special sparkly silver thread. So it was really a journey. Down here,
The wonkies. The flying geese.
you can see that gray fabric. That gray fabric is made with a combination of chain stitching and overlocking. So you do that first, and then you cut out your pieces. So you can embellish your fabric first before you start cutting your quilt piecing. And boy, I tell you, that just blows my mind. Now I am just percolating with all kinds of ideas.
Imagine.
What we can do. Yeah, and even these bow tie blocks.
Oh, do the leaves. Show the leaves.
Yeah, the leaves were interesting. Those were done by using steam a seam and it is 2 layers of fabric and steam a seam in the middle. And then after you do that, you cut out your leaves, and then you go around with the overlock to add that turquoise. And that is with the Wonderful spaghetti thread that you have. And then you make this bias tape, and you used the compensating foot to sew along down the middle of that. So you're curving as you go, and the compensating foot, it was really cool to be able to use it for that. Yeah, so interesting.
Very fancy,
Very fancy.
with lots of learning.
Yeah, and you know,
Oh, wait, you didn't show the bottom where, depending which way you put the seam.
Okay,
Yeah.
we can show that too.
Sorry, back here.
So this is the bottom part of the quilt. And what you do on this is you put wrong sides together. So
Yeah.
there's no raw
Yeah,
edges.
right.
And then you overlock them together. The top thread was the dark turquoise, and the light blue turquoise was on the bottom. So the directions have you press
One way.
one way, and then, so on this black and white flower print, I'm pressing outward both ways. So it gives the effect of an alternating
Yes.
light and dark, light and dark. But I think what I really enjoyed the most was these wonky blocks. Those were so fun. And Amanda had included this little flange that you just put underneath, and you do right sides together on this, and you angle it, and we're doing an overlock. Our machine has a thread guide, or a seam guide, so you can get your 1/4 inches perfect, and you cut off the extra.
No threads poking through the
No,
front.
no threads poking through, and it's an endless bobbin. You have your cone of thread on the
right.
back.
That's
So
right.
we have unlocked the mystery of an endless bobbin. And so many customers have said, why don't they make a bobbin that is really a spool of thread?
Well, they have.
They have. It's called the L890. So here's an example of a chain stitch.
Whoops. Hang on. I'm getting her.
This is a chain stitch. So that is a straight stitch that you can use. And here is my thread guide, or my seam guide, I should say. And we have the adjustment. Can you see this knife here? I can adjust this knife wider or all the way in.
Yep.
So for using a 1/4 inch chain stitch, I bring it all the way in, and then I align my fabric right here. And I'm gonna start with my fabric right behind the cutter. This is the cutter. So then as I sew,
See the knife
I'm
going
trimming.
up and down. Trimming. It's landing in the little basket.
so right now I have a double seam going. And there is a thread cutter on the side here. And so there's the back. Now, if I threaded a fancy thread in that looper, like a metallic thread, that would be really pretty. And I would keep that on the top. So you can cut or you don't have to cut. You can put the knife down. And so here's my 2 pieces sewn together. If I wanted to do a chain stitch without cutting, and I could put my cover stitch plate here, so I don't have the seam guide in the way, because there is another plate for that. In fact, I should almost do that because it's going to be pushing it. So let's do that real quick. Oh, that's the wrong one. one.
Here.
Do I have another one? That one.
Want to borrow the one over there?
Yeah, I'll take yours for now. I'll give it back, I promise. So here I am just taking this off. Very simple to do.
And the one with the guides.
So I always go, okay, I want it to look like that, so it has to go in this direction. There, now I have a flat surface to sew on. I don't really need my bin because I'm not cutting right now. So
That's
the nice
just a
thing
single piece of fabric.
is, it's a
Yeah.
single piece of fabric. And I'm going to show you really quick what I can do with this. Get rid of that.
Hear how quiet it is?
It is very quiet. And I have these lines here that I can
Guide.
just, so I can go straight. And this serger does have the ability to, I don't know if I have it in my drawer, but do you see these red right here? You gotta get it up.
Yep,
Yeah,
right there.
I can put a thread guide through that.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of our original L890s did not have that feature, but we have this ankle in stock, and our technician can put that on. So look at, here I am going from 4 to 6.5. I would think that if I did this again, I would be about the same. So I'm not using a guide, I'm just using my eyeball.
Your God-given guide.
Yeah. Okay, let's clip these guys.
And a drum roll, please. Oh, I thought, oh, you're gonna go, okay.
I'm gonna go with this. I'm just gonna do a quick demo. I may as well go all the way across.
Yeah.
Faster and easier.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's do this. How about like that? So basically what I'm doing is I'm decorating my fabric. The serger is actually easier to sew with because there's such a long feed dog. So if you're a beginner, a serger is a great way to start. But do you see what I'm doing here? I'm starting to make my own design on my fabric. And if I alternated colors, I could do angles, I could use this fabric however I want. It could be a bag on the outside.
Nice. And just a straight
It's
looking
just
stitch on
a
the back.
straight stitch, and that stitch is what you can piece with. And you can use it for decoration. So really kind of
Very
cool.
cool.
So Holly has some really pretty fabric that she's been making.
Oh, this one?
Right here,
Oh, yeah, those.
the bloom and grow.
Yep, I'm blooming and growing right along with Pam. And I opted to use some batik instead of the Amanda Murphy fabric, just to kind of see what look that would produce. And so here are my flying geese with the alternating decorative stitches on my triangles.
I'm gonna go close here, so. And
So she's got a navy blue
Yeah.
and a teal. So very
and then a
pretty.
silver.
Yeah.
And then on this one, a turquoise and navy.
Yeah, so this is when you can really have fun with your thread.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we didn't put microphones on today.
Oh, I hope you can hear us.
Yeah.
We're pretty close. We're right on top.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's that one. And
Oh,
then
and
this was my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
This was the wonky log cabin blocks.
Just keep it.
I need to prep this a little bit, but
Oh, it looks
kinda
great.
gives you an idea of the different batiks that I used and the varying shades. And
Yeah.
the flanges were a lot of fun to do.
They were. And let's see the back side.
Oh yes, the back side.
The back side is so nice and neat.
look at that. You could almost flip it either way. You really almost could.
Slow. Yeah. Very nice. Good. Good, good, good. So next, we'll let Holly get ready to do a demonstration, but I want to show you all of our setup here. Here I have the L860. The L860 is a serger only. There's no cover stitch on it. But what's so great about these machines is the ability for you to either have guided mode or expert mode. Guided mode, when you choose a stitch, let's go ahead and choose the 3-thread rolled, well, let's see, I think that one had a rolled hem. If we were to do a 2-thread flat lock narrow, for example, we can go through the screens. There are videos built in that show you what to do step by step. So here they're unthreading. And here it tells you how to attach the presser foot. The part that they're highlighting, they're putting in yellow. And how to adjust the pressure foot pressure. And there are times where we have adjusted the pressure foot pressure on these machines while making that quilt, the Bloom and Grow. How to put in the needle. Did you see that? That needle moves out of the way. So all the way through, it's going to tell you how to do it. And the fun part really is putting in the loopers. So as the video shows, you go flat on the top. It doesn't matter even what order you thread these machines. Unlike some of the other sergers, you do have to do it in a certain order. So here, you step on the pedal, and it sucks it through, blows it out the other end. So it really makes it easy. And I do have a special price on my traded in L850. Most people that have bought the 8 series have bought the L890. And this one was the first one to be sold when only the 850 was out. And the person traded it in, and it's still here. And we'd like it to be gone. It's too low for me to show you what price we have on it, but you can call us to find out. And this one is an air threader too, so it's just like the others. It just does not have the screen. All right, so Holly, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
All right.
So what are you gonna do here today?
I am doing, this is a cover stitch. So as you notice, I've got the cover stitch plate on here. And so I'm doing a 3-thread cover stitch narrow. And so that means that my cover stitch needles, well, they're on the cover stitch side. If I were serging, my needles would be over here, but I'm cover stitching, so they're over here.
Is that on good? Looks
Yeah.
a little crooked.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
But
you know why? There.
oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
Because I had turned it away.
Turned it
to
away,
flip it.
yeah.
Yep. And so I've got my left cover stitch needle and my center cover stitch needle in to make the narrow stitch. And I've got some specialty threads up here in the chain looper and in my right needle. And so here's what it looks like on the front. And I'll send it through just to show you how it goes. Okay, and I'm gonna do some meandering lines, so some wavy lines for decoration. And it's nice and quiet again.
Yeah, so we're using 12 weight spaghetti thread by Wonderfill, as well as a Ceracore in the big cone.
Okay, I'm gonna raise my foot.
And she back kicked and the needle came up
Then it came up,
automatically.
Yep. And then I'm gonna pull my threads forward with this lock tool. just to lock my stitches before I take it out of the machine.
Oh, I go underneath. Go underneath the foot.
Okay, or,
No, just underneath the foot.
okay.
There you
There
go.
we go.
There you go.
Yep. And it's giving me a little more resistance because of that thick thread.
Right.
But, so I've got it locked here.
Yep. But watch what happens.
Give it a snip.
And then now when she grabs and pulls it, it pulls those top threads to the back side.
Yay!
That's why it's called a lock tool.
And
So
then
there is no threads on the top. They automatically went to the back.
And then speaking of the back,
Ooh,
look at what's
so
on the back
pretty.
side.
Yeah, I thought the orange and the gold and the yellow would be pretty for the
They are very
eclipse
pretty.
day.
Total eclipse.
That's why I wore my yellowish pants.
Yeah.
I wore
Very
black
good.
for when it turns black.
Oh, there you go.
So here I can show you these special prices. Normally the L850, a new one, is $24.99. Ours, of course, is far less than that. And these two original sergers are the Bernina sergers. And these ones are not air threaders, but these ones are quiet, just like our L890s. And that was the first thing that I realized when I started sewing on these. Is like, man, mine that I had before sounded like a tank. But these are quiet. Here, Julie, I'll have you hold. And I'm going to stand up and sew with this one if I can.
I'm going to come on this side just a minute. 'Cause
Just give myself a little bit more thread because I can. What this one is set up to do is a rolled hem. I can get this. Yeah, I got it.
she's sewing with her hand.
So you can hear how quiet these machines are too. And I'm doing a rolled edge with this. This is great for dinner napkins. You could do an applique with this.
Scarves.
And then sew it on. Scarves.
Yeah.
Yep, decorative ribbon. We've used it for a lot of different purposes. But look how pretty that is.
Beautiful.
So it's not just the machine that made that beautiful,
Quilt.
dense look. It's the thread that we have. And this is Wonderfill Soft Lock. It's a woolly nylon. So once you stretch it, it gets thin, but when it relaxes, it is thicker.
It's woolly.
Yep, yep. So that's that. And over here, if the Berninas are still out of reach, these are our air threading Bernettes. So we have the B68, which is a combi machine. It will cover stitch. It will overlock. It is air threading, as you can see here. It's just not a Bernina, but this is actually made, I believe, in the Janome factories. And the B62 is the cover stitch machine. So this is a cover stitch only machine. And over here, this one is the overlocker, just a regular serger. Yeah. So you could make these blocks with the overlocker. So as you can see, those prices range for air threading anywhere from $9.99 to $15.99. And yet there's more. Oh, I never got that one set up. So these are the ones that are Bernettes that are not air lockers. These ones you have to thread yourself. The cover stitch machine is $4.99. The overlocker is $4.99. And the combi machine is $6.99. So there's that.
For under $1,000, you can get
Yeah.
into a serger.
Yeah. And Julie was asking, what tables are on sale?
What tables are on sale?
Yeah, the tables are still on sale with Arrow. This one here is our Outback. This one is our largest one. And I have a special price on that. It's lower than what Arrow has on it. I This one is, as you can see, it's an electric lift. It will go up and down, and there's hooks for your hoops. And the one that Holly is on is the kangaroo table. Now we have all kinds of different machines set up on it right now. We don't have the quilt back lifted up. As you can see, there's a quilt back that lifts up for additional table space for when you are quilting. And this Joey, this is the Kangaroo and Joey, that is movable, and you can put an additional L shape over here with this piece and it opens up on the side. So this really is our best.
Biggest
No,
quilting area?
no, this one is, yeah. Yeah, the Kangaroo and Joey, though, is the #1 seller. And then we have the Wallaby. The Wallaby is back here. We are all sold out of our Kaffe 570s and our Kaffe 475s. We just have a couple of these 770 Kaffe machines left. It's sitting on a Wallaby. It can fit in the Wallaby if needed, but that is a smaller one. And of course, it's all closed up right now, but it does open up. And I do have a extra serger table. So that's what this is sitting on right now. Can you move this? The serger table, if I can get into it, has some extra drawers, and it is a, thank you, Holly. It has drawers for storage, which is really convenient. But what I really like are these pull-out spool drawers for thread. So that works out really nice. And this table has an electric lift on it as well. So if I push this button, you'll see the table go up. And there is a free arm. I could take this part off, and there's a free arm if I wanted to use it for going around a neckline or a sleeve or something smaller. Here's a purse that we made. This is a combination of a sewing machine as well as an overlocker. This purse was done with applique, decorated with that, and then I embellished it with the cover stitch. And the thread fusion, yes. The thread fusion is a nice tool on right here. It's on here. So we can use Gail Yellen's thread fusion stand for blending threads. Blending threads, what the heck is blending threads? This tassel was made with just isocord. It would be prettier if we used thicker threads, but that is a combination of 2 threads, 3 threads? I don't remember. A few, yeah. So anyway, it's 10 o'clock. I think I covered everything that I wanted, and I appreciate you tuning in, and come and bloom and grow with us at Time Flies Quilt and Sew in Negaunee, Michigan. Thanks all.